I'm Dr. Mukta Katoch, and I welcome you to the second episode of Anyonya, an exclusive talk series by Katoch's Holistic Health Center. So we're today here to talk about how to beat the heat of summers with the seasonal guidelines, or what we call as the Ritu Charya, as it has been explained in Ayurveda. And for this, we have a very special guest who's a very close friend of mine, Dr. Babita Rao from Karnataka. Welcome, Dr. Babita, and thank you for taking out time. So I'll just give a brief introduction of who Dr. Babita is. So Dr. Babita has completed her Bachelor's in Medicine and Surgery from SDM College of Ayurveda, Hassan. And prior to that, she has done her BSc in Biotechnology and Diploma in Bioinformatics. She has also volunteered at the Ayurveda Academy in Bengaluru. She is pursuing her Master's in Surgery in the subject of Shalya Tantra from KVG, Ayurveda Medical College and Hospital, Sulya. She is the manager of Shri Sahana Ayurveda and Research Center established by her father. She is a trustee at Manasu Samaruda, Bharatada Kanasu, and presently she is helping in the fight against COVID-19 as a strong and persistent Corona warrior. So Dr. Babita, I welcome you once again to today's session. So let's move into the topic. Let's dive into it. But before that, since you're working so closely with the people who are affected with COVID-19, so I want you to tell us that what is the kind of work that you're doing and how you are helping people come out of this situation and help them in these tough times.
I was volunteering as a Corona warrior and the emergency response team. Actually, this has nothing to do with like hospitals or anything. It's like the different approach towards this pandemic crisis. This was an initiative by the Department of Information and Public Relations to bridge up the gap between the civilians and also the left staff in the government. They initiated this along with the Red Cross India, Civil Defense Personnel and Quick Response Team. They guided us regarding the basic training. Also, they issued us the short-term ID. So we had to work with the police force in that limits of police station. So we had to work like the food distribution, ration distribution. Also my teammates, they were helping in like police with the transport, then social awareness and distancing, medical emergencies and medical requirements. And also we helped the migrants, we helped the police to give the travel pass to the migrants. It was a teamwork. All my teammates were really awesome. They were from different fields, but this was like really good approach towards the other end of the crisis.
Okay.
I really feel proud to be a Corona warrior and the emergency response team.
That's wonderful. I think like most of the public is not in the hospitals. It's just the people who are affected, which is sorry state of affairs. But yes, for the other people who are not directly affected by the disease, but indirectly there are so many things that are affecting their lives and they're not able to cope up with that. So you are helping them with that, and that it's a job to which I think hats off that you're doing so much for the mankind, and we're really proud of you, Dr. Babita.
And also we were appreciated for the best Corona warrior team in whole Bangalore. It's applause to my teammates.
Yes, I'm going to clap for you from here too. So today, as we all know, that we're here to talk about how to keep ourselves cool and healthy during summers. But before that, Dr. Babita, I would like you to give our viewers a little understanding of what seasons are. Like, what are the seasons that we have and what causes the change in these seasons? Yes, Dr. Babita.
Yeah, as per Ayurveda, we see 6 seasons in an annual year. That is Shishira, early winters, Vasanta, springs, Grishma, summer, Varsha, rainy season, Sharad, autumn, and Hima, the late winters. Each of them consists of 2 months, but then still this depends upon the geographical location. We can see in few countries, like we see long rain for 4 months, and in other countries we see long winters for 4 months. So then there is concept of Ayana, 2 Ayana in an annual year. So this Shishira, Vasanta and Grishma, they forms Uttarayana, nothing but the Adhana Kala, rest of them form the Visarga Kala. So it's like a basic school science, we all know that Earth rotates on its own axis to form the day and night, and Earth revolves around the sun to form the season. But when we visualize from the Earth, it seems that the sun has movement, the sun has the motion. So when we see from the Earth, when the sun is moving towards the northern equatorial, it is called Uttarayana, Uttar. It is also called as Adhana Kala. So in this we have two solstices, that is in mid of the winter and mid of the summer. Where in mid of the winter there will be the longest night, and the mid of the summer there will be the longest day. So similarly, we have between the Adhana Kala and Visarga Kala, we have two equinox, bridging them. In equinox, we see the equal day and equal night. So this is the summer. So I will talk about Adhana Kala. In Adhana Kala, what happens is there we see the earth becomes dry. Also, there will be the increase in the gunas like Tikshna, the most potent and penetrating powers. It will be like dry. Then also, since there is lower energy in the environment, this will also there will also be an effect on the body. Same effect will be caused on the body. So we would have seen this ad when the sun sucks through the straw, the energy from the boy.
Yes.
So it's like a similar effect. All our energy will be drained out in this Adhana Kala. Whereas in Visarga Kala, it's like total opposite.
Okay. Well, I guess many of us never realized that seasons could have such an impact on us, like something as simple as the example you gave. So now when we know that what the seasons are, and in brief we know that what kind of impact especially the summer season has on our body. So doctor, please tell us about what are the kind of foods that we can consume during summers.
As told before, the summer season is the last season of the Adhan Kala, wherein we see like the body, we feel like we are feverish, we'll be lethargic, tired. Also, there'll be like the bala or the strength, irrespective of the mental strength, physical strength, digestive strength, immune strength, everything will be at its lower threshold. So our food regimen should negotiate these things. They should improve our digestion. Also, they should give us the energy. So like the food, when we consider the qualities of the food, we want to take up the food opposite, total opposite. There is like rukshata, dryness. We have to take in snigdhata, unctuous things. Then like we have to take shita, cold potency drugs, more fluid will be drained out, more of fluid. Then we have to take like sweet predominant. Sweet is not like only sugar is sweet. If you see even the carbs, like the wheat, like wheat, rice, they are also like sweet components. So we have to take in such food. I can quote a few examples, like there are thousands of examples, but then I will quote very few things in each category. So it's like very necessary to use either ghee or coconut oil or like some coolant unctuous. It's like just like how while doing havan, we put in little by little ghee, right, to boost up the fire. Similar action happens in our body. So like it should be, but then minimal quantity, it's a fat, so there'll be a lesser digestive part. Also, if I want to quote in like the fruits, like all the melon, berries, grapes, avocado, and the veggies, all the gourd, rich gourd, bottle gourd, then there's the zucchini, cucumber, onion, then the green leaves, amaranthus, brahmi, then red leaves. Then if I want to quote any flowers, we can use even the flowers in our cooking, rose, hibiscus, lotus, then pulses, the coolant pulses like the green gram, then tur dal, also cereals like rice, ragi, barley, and meat. When it comes to meat, it's better to avoid chicken and fish because they're adding to the ushna properties. Whereas we can consume the soup of the goat meat. We can consume the soup of the goat meat. Also, we can use few of the seeds. We could have observed that in summer season we keep seeds in the water, chia seeds, tulsi seeds, then cucumber seeds, etc. Then dairy, it's better to avoid cheese and paneer. It's my favorite, but I'm telling this, it's better to avoid it. Instead, go with ghee, buttermilk, diluted milk. Also, when it comes to sweetness, now like we can like use the fruit concentrate sweeteners like maple syrup, then also the cereals like the barley malt syrup. Then we can use this rock sugar. Rock sugar has more cold potency. And so this is all. Also, like when we see the cookwares and the cookeries, we can use like earthen cookwares, then ceramics. If anybody storage, they can even use silver. I would not tell much about the recipes because it's individual. I'll tell just a few. Like they can prepare soup, khichdi, then tambuli. Then also they can prepare this buttermilk things. Then any like this like a bottle guard dosa, etc. So I leave it to individuals.
Yeah, it's more of the seasonal fruits and vegetables that you have. Like presently around the year we have all the vegetables and fruits available, and we have lost track of which are the seasonal fruits and vegetables. So I think we need to get more aware about what are the fruits and vegetables which are staple to that specific season, and then consume them with respect to the region you are living in, right? I had another question in regard to this, Dr. Babita, that what is your say on the consumption of curd or lassi? Because many people try to use a lot of this thinking that it is cold in nature. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, curd as it is heavy for digestion and it's hot in potency, so it's contraindicated in this season. But then when it is like processed, when it is churned, and when it is in this season, they tell about the rasala. Rasala is like the main ingredient is curd, where it is churned. Lot of like some of the spices are added. So when it is processed or diluted, it's fine. But as it is curd, definitely it's not good for the health.
Okay. So guys, remember this, that curd is not cold but hot in nature. Yeah. So I think we've busted one misconception over here. So, Dr. Babita, like I've heard this, and I don't know if many people over here know this, but excessive consumption of water can reduce the potency and the strength of our digestive fire. But since we are in summers and there's so much of water that we lose from our body, is there any how we can replenish this water back, either by drinking water, like how should we drink it, or by any other beverages that can be consumed during this season?
Actually, the Ayurveda says like especially for water is alpam muhu muhu. That means you have to drink water very less in quantity and in like frequently. When you see through modern science also, if you drink lots of water, it will dilute your digestive enzymes and juices. So definitely it hampers your digestion. So instead we can use the processed water. We can either use cold or hot infusions. For example, we can use dhania seed water, then we can use khaskhas water. Like similarly, we can like it's not only water, right? We can replace our fluid to like sharbat or panak. So we can use like rose panak. Then we can use like hibiscus flower panak. Then sari panak. Then we can use elaichi and lime sugar water. Also, like in Samhita, they have mentioned some special dishes. If anybody are interested in like preparing and trying out, I can mention them. Like first, this sattu. Sattu is nothing but the parched wheat flour and sugar. It's churned with water. It will be very tasty and cooling. Also, they have mentioned like as before I mentioned rasala. Then they have mentioned like this raga and khadava. This is nothing but the fruit. You use different fruits. You add up salt, sugar, everything and prepare a panak. So similarly, we have like so many things which by our like creativity we can prepare it. But here I want to tell one thing. So like a few of like my friends, like I have seen hot sunny day, it means actually deer or fenny, which is totally wrong in this season because it adds up to the dehydration. Also no carbonated drinks. Then as per the locations, if we see in UP they prepare thandai, then in Punjab they prepare kacha lassi with milk. So these are all milk beverages. Milk is like advised in this season, diluted and processed milk. So rest is based upon our like skills.
Yeah. So I think you've mentioned some amazing summer drinks over here, and Yeah, like you rightly said, that this is a time that we say hello to these drinks and say a bye-bye to the aerated drinks or the packed drinks that are available in the market.
Yeah.
So there was another question that someone asked about the consumption of ice. So can we put ice, a lot of ice into the drinks that we have? Because thanda chahiye, so people tend to put ice. Yeah.
There is a concept called Shita Sparsha and Ushna Virya. To touch and feel, it's definitely cold, but when we consume, it's not a coolant. You get an immediate wow effect, but it definitely doesn't cool our body for a long time. Also, like if we consume it for long time, it can cause some other illness. I don't think so. It's like a good practice. Yeah, fine. You can have some cheating days.
Yeah. So I think it's better to have things that have a coolant effect on the body rather than things that that feel cool to touch. Okay.
Yep.
So moving ahead, we've talked about what to eat and what to drink, but are there any specific indications with respect to the daily routine that needs to be during summers?
Yeah, when it comes to daily routine, I'm the happiest because this is the only season where I can sleep in day. Since we have shorter nights, and also like our sleep will be disturbed at night due to heat, and also like the energy stays low, right? So sleep is a kind of rejuvenant. So we can take a short nap, especially the children, elderly, pregnant women, diseased. It's like it's a necessary thing in this season to take a short nap. Enjoy your short nap. And also then when it comes to other regimens, we can take oil bath with cold unpure things like coconut oil, ghee. This forms a protective layer against the sun. Also, it keeps us hydrated. And in this season, we can enjoy all like a processed bathing water, aroma water. We can process it with jasmine, rose, then khaskhas, etc. So that like when we like take bath, it lasts for a long time. We'll feel refreshed, and also it acts as a long-term coolant. Then especially when going out, when I go out, like I'll be so much tanned, or like it will be burning rather than tan. Tan is okay, but then like that there'll be like kind of burning sensation. So to avoid all those things, it's like basic. We all know. You use hats, umbrellas, use your footwear. Don't forget your footwear. Don't walk barefoot on the tar road. And then also like use sunglasses. If somebody's skin is too sensitive, they can use like some of the good sunscreens.
And doctor, are there any contraindications, like things we should not be doing during summers?
In this season, we have to especially avoid heavy, dry and spicy food. Also, like the intensity of the vyayama or the physical exercise should be reduced in this season because our energy is low. Also, the exercises or the vyayama, they increase the vata dosha. Like in this season, already the vata dosha is accumulating and the kapha dosha is pacifying. So this will add on to that. Instead, we can play some indoor games, swimming or water activities. Also, we can do some like coolant meditations like Chitakari Pranayam, or like mild loosening exercise and asanas like Shashankasana, Shavasana, my favorite. Then Makharasana, all these things we can do. Then as mentioned earlier, it's better to avoid alcohol and other tea, coffee kind of beverages. And one more thing, definitely this season is not meant for honeymoon and plan a baby. Then also, like one more thing I have to tell, please never block your sweat. Now people these days use roll-ons and everything. Sweat is an excretory product. Body doesn't need it. When we block it, it can cause many ailments inside. Instead, we can work upon reducing it, or we can work upon like negotiating its effects.
So, doctor, there's another question. Like you said that we shouldn't be going out in the sun too much, or we should be protecting ourselves from the sun rays during the season. But someone just asked that what about vitamin D? Because most of the Indians suffer from deficiency of vitamin D. So how do we supplement? Because we know vitamin D is directly received from sun while we are outside in the sun. So how do we supplement it?
Yeah, Ayurveda doesn't speak about vitamins. Yet I want to add upon, especially in few countries wherein they see sun only for few days. Sun basking is really necessary for them. Here also it's told to be mild sun, early morning. Get up at Brahmi Muhurta. Get up at Brahmi Muhurta, do all your activities. Then watch the early morning sun at 6 o'clock, 6:30. Enjoy your sun basking, but not in this like a Tikshna or so penetrating sunrise. It will have UV rays also. It's not just vitamin D. And also, I want to mention the concept of Viruddhatva here, wherein we sit in AC where there is 16 degree and all of a sudden we are going out with 36 degree, or ulta, like we are in sun, we are immediately coming and we are sprinkling or drinking cold water. This is this has bad impact on health. We have to give some time, 2 minutes for the body to adjust in for the temperature.
So, and you had mentioned earlier also not to drink a lot of chilled beer as your friends do. I think most of my friends also do that. So remember, another point to remember, guys, that not too much of chilled beer, not really a good idea during this season.
Not just beer, no other alcoholic beverages also.
Exactly. So, Doctor, another big challenge during summers is to dress up. I mean, you're sweaty, you feel hot all the time, and sometimes this hotness just gets to your nerves, and all you want to do is take off your clothes and get in the shower. So, what kind of clothing do you suggest? Like, what clothing should we have? And if we can, what cosmetics we can use, and what kind of ornaments we can use during summer season?
I contradict your statement. I think this is the happiest season for the fashionista. Like winter, it's like cold and jumpers, and rainy seasons it's like slurry and like umbrellas and rain. But in this season, we can adopt a lot of fashion. So we have to definitely use very mild colored clothing, loose fitting, and it should be made of natural fibers like cotton, etc. Which allows in proper ventilation to the body and keeps it little pleasant. And also, if somebody is interested in experimenting, I'll give you a tip. The clothing after wash, we can dip in the processed water, coolant, and the flowers processed water, the same which we take bath, the khaskhas water, the rose water. If you dip and dry in shade, mild shade, then you'll feel so good after wearing that cloth. You'll not filthy, take it away and just take a shower. You'll really feel good. Then coming out to the cosmetics, in this season we have to take care of the strong sun rays. So we can tackle this sun rays and sweat and other rashes by using the bath water, which I had earlier mentioned. Then also the paste of sandal. Then the paste of this masoor dal and milk mixed together and apply. Also, we can apply this dhania powder and milk. So this is your face packs or something like that. Then if you want any creams, we can use aloe vera gel. Then we can protect our eyes by keeping a pouch of cucumber, aloe vera or giloy. Then we can use the scrubs Triphala, then this gram flour, etc. Also, if you want to really tone up and cleanse your skin, you can tone up it with the rice water. Everybody will cook rice at home. Take that rice wash water. So with that you can cleanse. Also rose water or plain milk. Then also we can use this essential oils for either bathing water or for this facial massage. Then in the background, it's not only in the front line, right? In the background at night, you can also use this Eladi Keram, Nalkamaradi Thailam, then Kumkumadi Thailam. So what happens is the day whole thing, it will be cleansed. Also, it acts as a protective for the next day. Let's come to the ornaments next. So definitely ornaments should be also a coolant. We all know, silver, then pearl, then coral, sandal beads, then this rudraksha. This is rudraksha are also trending. Then floral ornaments. These days we can see brides wearing all these floral ornaments. But acharyas have told in those days only decorate yourself with lotus, decorate yourselves with rose, and etc.
That was really informative. And till now what we've discussed is more about how to keep ourselves cool. But what about the place we reside in, our homes and the workplace? So how do we keep these places cool?
Yeah, definitely. If you're cool, that will be for a little time. If your surroundings are cool along with you, that will stay for a long time. So just I have placed the indoor plants, we can place in Also, you can keep a bowl with water and petals. Also, we can keep vase because this keeps the room hydrated. So the air also will be hydrated and you'll feel the cooling effect. And take out your curtains, semi-dip it in water, semi-dry it, and you put up the semi-wet curtains. So when you open up the windows with ventilation, those droplets will also circulate along with air. You'll feel cool. Then one more thing is, surrounding to your home, just sprinkle water. One thing, it cleanses your surrounding. Also, it keeps the air and surrounding cool. Then coming to the beddings, interestingly, like there are so many things mentioned about bedding. Either you can sleep on floor with like the bamboo mat or like the banana leaf, or they have also told to collect some mango leaf and you put it like that. If it's all not possible, if it's possible, definitely do it. You can use mild colored cotton bedspreads. Also, you can use all this cuscus, and also you can buy some rose and jasmine and decorate your bed. Then also putting some mellow music and cool and lights. Then talk to your friends and family. That will cool your emotions. That is all. What else? If you want, you can use this peacock feather fanning, and there's the polar bear tail fanning. It's all left to you. It's your creativity. And this way, since it is fan and AC, you can just spray in some water. Just like take a sprayer, just spray in some water below your fan. Like these are all the simple techniques. This definitely helps with cooling.
That was wonderful. I think we had some really interesting and some new things that we could do. We can always try that. I think today's generation is really good at trying stuff and giving reviews about it. So yeah, people who are watching us, if you do try it, do let us know, does it work or not? So
I have tried, it works. You do try?
You have? It does?
Yes,
okay,
it
that's
does.
great.
It's so pleasant.
Nice. Okay, so there was another question someone asked about the summer suites. Now, because many of us are because of this lockdown, we have been restricted to our homes. We cannot move out, and partying is totally out of the picture right now for at least another few months. So for people who have their birthdays, anniversaries, or any other celebrations coming up during these days, can you suggest any simple homemade summer desserts that we can make?
You being the sweet lover, I definitely dedicate this to you, Mukta. So I'll first tell you what not to eat. Yeah, please don't eat this sesame laddus, don't eat groundnut chickpeas, don't eat any fried sweet. Rather, we can eat so many things, like you can eat amla candies, amla murabba, then Agra peta. Also in Karnataka, we prepare with the ashgar, we prepare a dish called kasni halwa. In little quantity, not much. Sweet is required, but not much. Then also, like if you're in Karnataka, we'll prepare a dish called halva. It will be a jelly-like thing with rice or ragi. It will be very cool and very nice. And simple thing prepared everywhere is kheer or payas. Prepare with rice or like a wheat or like barley. It acts as a rejuvenation and coolant. Here also, I'll tell you one more creative thing. So prepare this kheer as like you guys normally prepare, then cover it with a mesh and keep it overnight to the moonlight. Consume it in the morning. I really can't explain you how refreshing you feel after taking that sweet. That moonlight process kheer, it will be so awesome, so cooling, and like instant energy giver.
Yeah, and there is someone else who's asked about ice creams. So I think I would just like to add that for ice creams, I think we can sorbets. We can make, if anybody knows, sorbets are made from fresh fruits. Yeah, so you don't have to remove the fiber part of the fruit. You just like process your fruit in the mixer and put a little bit of honey into that. And if you're a fruit lovers and a ice cream lover, so that's the best way of having your ice cream instead of getting it from the market. That's the best way you can have it. Yeah. Moving on to the last part of today, Doctor, I want you to tell us about some of the common summer ailments and how can we manage these ailments at home?
Yeah, considering this is like very sensitive part, considering the hot sun rays and the risk, like we can see from the dehydration and sunstroke death, just like the stronger version to the milder version like dizziness. I actually did a little homework. I spoke to few of the physicians, Ayurveda practitioners who are practicing, So I got in few inputs along with my experience. Like there are I would like to share it. So for the first thing is the stress and discomfort. Especially when you see babies, they'll be crying and crying and crying in summer season. So for not just for us, for babies also you have to put in thin and light cloth. And also the tips told before, the clothing and other things that will solve these things. Also the mild music or something with a handy fan. Then coming to the dizziness and fainting or sunstroke, especially in school children. What happens is they run away from the home without having breakfast. This is the first cause. And also the penetrating hot sun rays. One is never send out anybody in empty stomach. Also not to send out anybody in full stomach. One is this. And in the background, we can also put a wet towel on the head at their feet. Also, if I want to tell Ayurvedic home tip, you can dip in a small piece of cotton. Take a small piece of cotton, dip in the ghee, and you have to keep it here. It acts as immediate coolant. Also, since head is the sensitive part wherein we have all our senses and sensitive parts, it protects all those things. Then that's it. Drink all those previous cold beverages for your dehydration. People face dehydration a lot. Drink those things. Then drink processed buttermilk. Then coming to the next, skin rashes and sickness heat. This will also be taken care when you take bath with the processed water. Then when you apply all those cosmetics which we have mentioned. So this will also be definitely taken care of. Then next will be jet lag. Interestingly, I also didn't concentrate on this. One of my friends suggested. What happens is in few countries the jet lag is too much, daylight saving. So they turn their clock to and fro for 1 hour. For example, in Australia, during summers they turn their clock 1 hour front. So they face a lot of problem, that jet lag. So here comes the concept of Ritu Sandhi, wherein Ritu Sandhi, the seasonal, the bridge between one season and other season. Not just this problem, for the other problems also. What we have to do is the first 15 days of the season or the last 15 days of the season, we have to slowly taper the regimens of the previous Ritu and slowly take up the regimens of new Ritu. So you'll not feel a jet lag or you'll not feel anything like that. This is the drop by drop forming the river. Whatever is discussed, the small things, if you connect, definitely you will have a happy summer.
This is time for a few questions now. We're coming to the end. So someone just asked a question which is related to what you were saying, that can they have shikanji? Shikanji is the lemonade.
See, the lemonade definitely you can have, but not much lemon. In this season, we have to avoid katu tikta kashaya. I mean, even the amla. Then it's the sour and the spicy things. So these things we have to avoid. But then lemon is refreshing. You can add in just 1 or 2 drops of lemon to combat the heat, and you can add in lot of rock sugar and salt and elaichi and prepare a drink and drink. You put in little mint leaf also. It will keep in a mud pot definitely and drink it.
Okay. Fine. And what dairy products do you suggest? So I think this has already been answered. Take more of milk, butter, and you can have cream and buttermilk, curd and paneer. Yeah, that's already been answered by Dr. Babita.
Yeah.
So there was another question by a first year BAMS student, and I think it's a very intelligent question. She asks that through Ayurvedic studies, we know COVID-19 has involvement of Vata and Kapha dosha, which are both Shita Guna Pradhana. So to pacify these, Ushnavirya Dravyas like Guduchi, Ashwagandha, Muleti, etc. have been advised. Being summers, will this contradict with the Grishma Ritu Charya and have any ill effects on the body, and how to cope up with it?
I really appreciate her level of thinking at this engage. Congrats. So yeah, when I had explained you in the start, the summer season is also predominant of Vata and Kapha dosha. Yet the regimens which were mentioned, it wasn't Ushna thing. Also, there is a misconception among public ki only the hot potency drugs like the spices like jeera, ginger, pepper, only these things have the immuno-boosting activities, haldi, etc. but it's not true. Like there are a lot of other, even like the cold potency drugs, like the khaskhas, like the dhania seeds, like sariva, etc., which also act as immunoboosting factors. Then also as yes, prevention is better than cure. But then if the patients turn out to be positive, as per the pathology, he'll be treated.
Yes.
So it's not like it's only kapha and vata.
Yeah, but I think the patient is already to balance the vata and dosha. Like it has been told, just follow it. And if you are tested positive and you have symptoms, you follow the treatment, whatever is said. But alongside that, you can keep following whatever Ritucharya has been told, because it's already balanced the vata and kapha. Right? And one last question, do you really need a lifestyle change season?
Yes, it's definitely needed. If you want to be healthy, if you're healthy, if you want to protect your health, definitely you have to follow the seasonal regimens. It avoids the seasonal diseases. Also, the one regimen which is followed in this season will avoid the next seasonal diseases also. And also it will add upon to your immune power, strength, or so many things. It's definitely yes.
Yeah. So that's great. And there was another question that Ministry of Ayush has suggested Chyawanprash to be taken during this time for prevention of corona. So can it be taken during summers also, during this season?
No. As per my knowledge, Chyawanprash, it's heavy for digestion. So if you are taking also, you have to take care a lot. You have to take a minimal. It's not only Chyawanprash, as I told. There are a lot of things. Chyawanprash is made up of avla, that is gooseberries. Instead, you can eat fresh gooseberries or gooseberry candies or gooseberry juice. I'm not telling against it. If you really want to take Chyawanprash, you can take a very minimal quantity along with the hot water or a small cup of diluted hot milk. And you take care, you'll not eat anything next till this is digested. And not in night, definitely.
I think that was very well answered, and I hope all of you got your answers. So thank you so much, Dr. Babita, for being with us, and it was an absolute pleasure. And I think we touched some very important points which are not discussed when people talk about Ritucharya. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Mukta. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you to our viewers for tuning in and supporting us. And I hope you've learned something from here and you've got answers to the questions that you asked us. We'll be sharing the highlights of the talk soon on our page. And until then, keep watching this and keep learning new things, keep asking more questions. I'll see you again with some more exciting topics and some new guests. So goodbye, take care, and keep chilling. Bye-bye.